A few months ago, history was made as thousands of people ran across the walkway over the Hudson as part of the Walkway Marathon. And Dutchess Community College students were on hand to capture the moment and preserve it in history as part of a documentary. It was a summer program that a lot of the students volunteered for. The project took about a month to complete under the advisement and watchful eye of Dutchess Community College faculty, and a month later, the creativity of the students captures that moment in history. We here at hvnn.com are happy, honored, and proud to be able to debut the documentary right here for you.
Pamela Eddington, the new president of Dutchess Community College, came to me and said, you know, you need to get your communication students together to do a documentary about the marathon that's happening this summer. And I thought, uh-oh, this is a marathon that's happening in June. That's the only time of the year when I don't run a production class in the Communications and Media Arts program at Dutchess. So I had to figure out, how do I get students to work in the summer? And how do we also figure out how we're going to shoot an entire 26-mile marathon with 3,000 people running?
We spend the fall and spring semesters talking about opportunities for portfolio building and real-world opportunities, and this was one of them.
I'm originally from Beacon, and I grew up next door to Pete Seeger, and I really like acoustic music, and I think it says something about the Hudson Valley. There's also great festivals all over the place, in Woodstock and everything like that. So the music really it really represents the Hudson Valley to me a lot more than anything electronic or too experimental.
When I started meeting with the students in April, I said, you know, one of the challenges is this is going to be like real work, where you have a deadline to finish the project, and that's going to be the end of July. And we have a budget, a real hard budget, which is an amount of time that we've allocated for each of you to work, and you're going to be getting paid. So students really couldn't work an extra 100 hours on the project because they were limited to what we had in the budget. So we had to think about how to do the project in an exciting way, but also to do it within the limitations of a real work style production.
It was really hectic. Me and Patrick had to go in a truck and drive around and get to the other spots of the marathon before the runners did and set up, and then film them, and then get back in the truck, get to another part, cut them off, film them again. So it was a lot of moving around.
We had 5 cameras for our group, and then I think altogether it was 9 cameras.
It was 2 hardcore days of filming, one with the expo, and then all of us on race day. And with that, it was a lot of filming, and then just the editing process. Once we got into a rhythm, it went a lot faster, and we all had our own parts, editing B-roll, cutting the interviews and sound bites. We had people responsible for the titles, and once it all came together, it was really nice.
I had worked with some of the people before, not everybody. It takes a couple weeks to get it all to work, personalities to mesh, but I think overall, you're all very successful and working together.
A lot of it was really just thinking through the process. And I think that what is hard to see when you're watching something like this on television is all the thinking that goes into it and all the creative problem solving that goes into it. So when you say, who came up with the overall visual style, it was a collaborative process that happened over the course of about 3 months. And it wasn't really until we got into the edit room that we started discovering what the project was.
Walkway people did a great job of making sure that everyone could easily navigate and easily sign up and register. And today down there, it was easy. People are everywhere helping one another, and I think that's great.
With races that, for example, that are out and back, you get a concentration of the spectators, which helps a lot for the runners.
And it's fun to see what's going on down there, and right now it's just like walking downtown, and I saw people with their bib numbers, and random people are talking to each other because they're both in the race. It's a cool way of creating community, I do think so.
1, 2, 3.
We knew that once the Dutchess Rail Trail was completed, that the opportunities for a marathon, given there's now 18.5 miles, was a reality. So in the future, I often say, you know, the race could be from New Paltz to Hopewell Junction, or sometimes I joke and say Connecticut to the Catskills. But we have this potential for the route to change, to run through the city of Poughkeepsie, to go into different parts of the city and different parts of the Hudson Valley. But year one, we're very happy with the route that we've got.
Our half and full marathon begins at the Marist College campus, and it goes up through the campus and then goes into the town of Poughkeepsie streets, and then enters onto the William Morris Steinhaus Dutchess Rail Trail. So it's a beautiful, flat, scenic route.
The county is quite happy to be partnering with Walkway to bring this world-class marathon to Dutchess County and to make use of the Dutchess Rail Trail along with the magnificent walkway over the Hudson.
When we actually started to plan for the marathon and made it a reality, it made sense to make it green. And it made sense to make it green because the walkway, as you cross it, you see the beauty of the Hudson Valley. And we wanted to make a statement to the people that were coming that we are going to keep it beautiful. So we are going to be a green marathon. We selected 13 criteria to make it a green race. We only had to select 8, but we wanted to do more than required. And we set forth to accomplish those goals.
Dutchess County, as a government, as a community, is really proud to partner with Walkway to have made this a green event. We, in fact, are providing transportation with hybrid and alternative fuel buses for transportation. We're making use of our solid waste management program to encourage recycling of products, to help with composting. And overall, the county has a really aggressive focus on recycling and reducing waste in the waste stream, but also has been encouraging this as part of our solid waste management program and the concept that we all can do more to protect and preserve the environment.
Dutchess Community College Foundation and our Dutchess United Educators, which is the faculty union, are also going to be helping out with the marathon. We're going to have one of the water stations, so we'll be cheering the runners along the race as well.
All of the waste that is produced at the event will fall into 3 categories: recyclable, compostable, or trash. Sneakers are going to be recycled after the event. Runners are being encouraged to use public transportation.
This is an order or 2 of magnitude above what I've done before, just because for the local race I would have maybe 85-gallon jugs of water, and we're looking at 400 jugs of water for this race.
80,000 cups, 2,000 gallons of water, 74 tables, and we got to make sure that we clean up and make it as beautiful a place as it was before we started.
The walkway over the Hudson is a gorgeous place to be. I love walking it, I love being on it, and I think everyone should know more about it. The Hudson River is gorgeous. You have beautiful views of the valley. So I think it's a place that everyone should get around to going to and should know about.
Beginning at Marist, that's pretty special to me, but also being a resident of the area is making it even more special.
Was looking for a race this time of the year and saw this one, so it was the first year and decided to give it a shot. Looked like an interesting area to come and visit.
I've never seen the walkway across the Hudson, and I thought that that would be an interesting addition to a race.
At the end of the walkway
Good, looking good.
Way to go.
Let's take a look at this community and support our community. You know, I think those of us who live here and do see the issues that exist here in Poughkeepsie, whether it's, you know, the potholes that need to be filled or the abandoned homes that remain to be filled, we all have a responsibility to help promote this community and take back the community to say, look, we can make a difference, we can make a change. And we each have a role to play in that community revitalization. You can't just stay home and say somebody else is going to do it.
One of the most important initiatives that we work on is the revitalization of the Hudson Valley and specifically the Poughkeepsie waterfront. The funds from this event go directly towards the walkway, and we work to bring revenue to the region.
The marathon will bring thousands of runners, visitors, fans, and others to the region. They'll spend money. They'll stay in our hotels. They'll come to enjoy, I think, really the great assets of the Hudson Valley, and then they'll come back.
It has been an amazing experience to actually come together and community organize an event of this caliber in our area is pretty impactful.
It's a great example of collaboration across county governments, across local governments, private entities, non-for-profits, academia, all types of emergency services. It's a wonderful example of all of us working together.
Nice job.
Preparing to run and now preparing to run in a half marathon. It takes a lot of work and dedication, and you also realize that you're not going to accomplish it immediately. So serving in public office, but really I guess any aspect of life, really learning that every accomplishment takes hard work, takes dedication, takes some degree of sacrifice, and that in most cases the success is not going to be instant. Success takes time, and you have to work hard, and you have to be prepared, and you have to sacrifice to get there.